simultaneous equations are. So what I'd like you to do is write down the title for today, which is going to be Simultaneous Equations. Once you've done that, please pause the video and have a think about what the difference is between a variable and an equation. Welcome back. Hopefully you understood the following. A variable is a letter in an equation, and an equation has an equal sign. So today we are going to be finding out the value of the letter in different equations. There are steps you can do on the calculator, and we will be revisiting this in a moment. So let's first of all have a look at a question. So let's have a look at this question here. We want to simultaneously solve 5x plus 2y equals 20 and 2x plus 4y equals 24. Calculator. For simultaneous equations, you're going to look for PLY SMLT. This stands for polynomial simultaneous. We press number 9. We want to find the simultaneous equation solver. So we're going to press number 2. We're going to say that in this equations, we have two unknowns. Pause the video and have a think about what the unknowns are. Welcome back. We have two unknowns, x and y. We have two equations. This is the first equation and this is the second equation. We do not need to alter any of these things here. We need to press next, which is going to be the graph button, and then we need to type in the equation. What we do is we write 5 because it's 5x, this one's 2x, and then we need to change the other two variables to 2, 4, 20 and 24. 2 is clearly going to go here, 4 at the bottom, 20 on the right hand side and 24 at the bottom. Double check it's correct. Indeed it is. Remember, you can have different variables for x and y. This could be written as r, for example, and z. And this just means that the first solution we're going to get will be r, and the second solution we will get a z. Your calculator may also show x1 and x2. They are all the same things, but just written in a different way. We're going to press graph. There we go, our solution is 2 and 5, as expected. But remember, if you've got different variables, please try and write them in a different way. Now, I'd like you to have a go at the rest of the questions on the screen. We have BCD and two extensions. Before you continue, I'd like you to have a think about how are we going to solve a question such as extension 2. Welcome back. Hopefully you noticed that these are not in similar formats, so you have to rearrange it so you have the x's and y's or the unknowns on the same side and the number on the other side. So for extension 2 you would have to add 2 y's to both sides, which means the minus 2y would disappear from this side and then it would reappear on the left hand side. Now before we go, I'd like you to pause the video and have a go at these questions. Welcome back. So now we are going to have a go at a worded question. So this is our worded question. 2 adult gorillas and 9 babies eat 69 kilograms of termites in a day. In Cameroon, 1 adult baby and 3 baby gorillas eat 24 kilograms of termites in a day. How many termites does 1 baby and 1 gorilla eat each? So I'm going to talk you through this question. We're going to say something like 2 lots of adult gorillas plus 9 lots of baby gorillas equals 69. And then if we write something similar to that, we're going to write the second equation based on the second sentence. So we're going to have 1 adult gorilla plus 3 baby gorillas equals 24. And all you would do would be to solve this equation. Now, You can solve this simultaneously, and let's just quickly recap how you would do this. We're going to go back onto the apps, we're going to go on to number 2, we're going to press graph, we're then going to change the variables to 969. Let's do the first equation. I've made a mistake, so let's go back up to the top. The mistake I've put here is a power, so let's press delete. Let's go back up to the first number. We would like to put 2. Second number 9, third number 69. Now let's go on to the second line of the equations, G3B24. So we're going to have 1 here because G clearly means 1G, 3. So we're going to transform the 3b into 3y, and then on the right hand side we are going to have a 24. Now let's press solve. There we go, 3 and 7. This means that 3 is represented by the G and B is represented by the 7. So you'd have to make sure you write down G is 3, B is 7 to finalise your answer to this question. I'm going to show you another question which is perhaps easier to solve in a different way. Let's have a think of a different type of question. So we're going to have a look at y plus 2x equals, let me have a think of a number that would work for this, 10. Then we're going to have y plus x equals 7. Now I'm going to first of all rearrange these equations. So I'm going to write them as y equals 10 minus 2x and y equals 7 minus x. Now can you pause the video and have a think about why I might have rearranged these equations? Welcome back. Hopefully you realise because now they're both in a typical graph format. I have rearranged them so they're in a format of y equals mx plus c. Now if you make y, or one of the variables the subject of the formula, you can solve these in a different way with fewer steps. So let's quit this menu and press y equals. We're then going to input these two equations into the y equals. The first one we're going to clear, and let's input this in. So we're going to have 10 minus 2x for the first one. Remember we're going to use this minus sign. And then the second one we are going to have 7 minus x. Excellent. So now what we're going to do is graph these. So we're going to press graph, and you can see that they cross over. You can either use the calculator to work out where they cross over by just looking at the axes, but actually what we want to work out is the intersection. So we're going to press second trace. I didn't quite press that again, so I'm going to press second quit, go back onto the y equals, and we're going to press second trace again. We want to find an intersect, which is where two lines or two types of graphs cross. So an intersection effectively is something like this. So it's going to be the central part where they cross. Another way we could have an intersection is when we have two different types of graphs. So we could have a graph like this, and we could have a graph like this, but these graphs would also have an intersection, which would be the central part here. So let's press number 5, which is intersection, and it says first curve. So we need to select one of the straight lines. The computer doesn't know we're dealing with straight lines, and that's absolutely fine. So select one of the ones. And then we're going to press the second line. So we've selected the blue one, now we're going to select the red one, enter, and now we're going to guess where roughly they intersect, which is in the middle. When we press enter, there we go, intersect is 3 and 4. Therefore our answer to this question is x is equal to 3, y is equal to 4. This is how you do simultaneous equations.